Alright, so we got us a beer from Central City, the makers of the much famous Red Racer IPA, which is hopped quite the way I like it. So let's give this a pour, and let's make it an epic pour. Volume is 60 IBU. Yeah! Central City Imperial Porter. Coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. It's 60 IBU. Yeah! Central City Imperial Porter. Coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. It's 60 IBU. Yeah! Central City Imperial Porter. Coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. It's 60 IBU. Yeah! Central City Imperial Porter. Coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. It's 60 IBU. Yeah! Central City Imperial Porter. Coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. It's 60 IBU. Okay, so the aroma is quite strong on this. This is 9%, 60 IBUs, coming from Surrey, British Columbia. Yeah, cool. It says served between 12 and 14 degrees Celsius, and I think, you know, that's about where we're at here, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be good. So we're smelling all the nutty kind of roasted, burnt and browned grains in here. A little bit of nice yeastiness in the finish there. Very clean, very nice. A little bit of dark fruits there, a little bit. Slight raisin mixed with something a little more undried, like a raspberry maybe. Something like that. Maybe a cherry. Bit of cherry and raisins. Nice. Well, spot on body. Nice and thin. Extra rich. This is a good one. Really a big fan of their Red Racer IPA. And this is, whoa, to that caliber, to that degree, to that potency, to that power, level of power we're getting here. This is one of the better porters. Off that one sip, I'll tell you, this is this is not bad. Keep in mind, this is an Imperial porter at 9%, so probably has a lot to do with it. Feeling the texture, the grittiness of the beer. It's not overwhelming. It's really quite drinkable. You could really get drunk with this easily if you weren't careful. You know, like if you drank a few beers beforehand and then opened one of these and drank it real fast, your night would be pretty much over. So, you know, so we're getting some nice lacing there and all of it. This is a really enjoyable beer. There's a lot of the roasted characteristics, but it's not any black soot characteristic like you get off a extra char, extra burnt stout. We're getting incinerated barley flavors, but they're not that black. More of a roasted brownie kind of getting burnt. Of course, you can't see. Well, actually, you can see through a little bit. We're getting a little bit of red right down in the bottom here, so it's spot on for a porter. This is a authentic. Quite glad it turned out well. It was a fabulous deal. This was like $7 for a 9% Imperial porter, and a good one at that. So, I picked up a couple of Canadian beers. Grand Reserve 17 from Unibrew, which was also like $7. So I walked out of that store that day quite happy with the purchases that I made. And I'm usually not scared to pick up any Unibrew products, but this one I wasn't quite sure, you know. But for $7, I was like, wow, crazy enough to try it, and it is fabulous. Definitely pick this up for $7. You'd have to be either, I don't know what, because like a porter is a pretty good style. I don't know too many people that don't like porters, and if you're wanting to get into some bigger beers, this is a great one because it's not overwhelming like some Imperials people can't get into because they're so strong tasting. This is stronger than your 6% beers that you may be used to, but it's not. There is a bit of alcohol to it, but it's not. It's very drinkable. Put it that way. It's very deceiving. I'm liking this a lot. This is going to get a really high rate. The head disappeared quite quickly, which is a little bit strange to me. Well, I guess there's a lot of booze in here. Maybe not that many hops. I'm not really picking up a whole lot of hops. Some porters do have a fair amount of hops. But I'm not picking much up in the way of this one, so that's maybe why we're getting some head dissipation here. Degas a little. Well, I'm impressed with this beer. Not much to say. Pretty much a typical porter flavor. It's just jacked up to 9%, and it's really smooth and easy drinking. Very refreshing. It's a little bit colder than by a degree or two than what they probably recommend here. So we'll swirl it around, get to degas a little bit. Hopefully, it's not very warm though. I've been heating this up. Oh, that smells great. Well, it's pretty phenomenal. I'm not picking up a lot of fruit flavors like cherry, raspberry as much as some. It's a little bit thicker than some because it is 9%. We're getting the heaviness. So I have never brewed a porter, so I'm imagining there's some trade-offs and things. But this is at least a 10 out of 11 beer. I would say I think there's room for an extra point here, but 10 out of 11 is I don't rate too many beers that high, so I think this is an incredible beer, especially for the money. It's a 10 out of 11, no problem. I highly recommend picking this up if you're into big beers, if you're into porters, and you're in Canada. This should be available to you. Central City seems to be all over Canada, as far as I know, and absolutely highly recommend this beer. Drink it up. Yeah!